What's up, you guys? It's KeAmber Vaughn, aka CoachKe, coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video I post. My video scheduling is usually posting vlogs and fun videos on Tuesdays. Sometimes I might skip a Tuesday or two. And then on Fridays, we have Financial Freedom Fridays, where we talk about everything regarding finance. So before I start this video, let me first say I am trying a new setup. I'm actually in my living room and I'm trying to use some natural lighting. So it's kind of a muggy day. The sun is kind of going in and out of clouds and over the buildings and all this other stuff. So if the lighting starts to change throughout the video, I wholeheartedly apologize in advance. I'm just trying out a new setup. So yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Look down from time to time because I have everything written down on a piece of paper to make sure that I do not miss a beat. So the first thing we're going to do is do our monthly check-in, where I talk about the things that I did well and also the things that I can improve on. So the first thing that I did well was I was able to pay off my last credit card, you guys. I started off October with a credit card balance on my Citi card of $673.71. My goal was to pay it completely off, which I was able to do. Yay. So one of the things that you guys need to understand is that I was able to pay my credit card debt off a lot quicker than most people because I had 0% interest credit cards. I have very good credit. So I was able to utilize that. So literally all of my payments went straight towards principal, and that's what allowed me to pay my debts off so quickly in regards to my credit card debt. So the only debt I have left, you guys, is my car note. I started off this journey last November with 8 debts, and now I am down to my last one. So the next thing I was able to do well, I made my very first extra payment towards my car note in the amount of $189.72. So that went to principal only. I called the payment in. So if you guys paid attention to my October budget with me video, basically for this last year, I was making all of my extra debt payments on the Sundays throughout the month because I get paid on Friday, it hits my account on Saturday, and then I make my extra debt payments on Sundays. This has been my routine. But from here on out, I will not be able to do that because my car note is due at the end of the month. It's actually due on the 30th, but I make sure that my bill pay goes through by the 27th. So what I'm going to have to do is wait until my bill pay goes through on the 27th in order to make a very large extra debt payment at the end of the month, basically, which is cool. I guess one of the other things I could possibly do is just move my bill pay up earlier in the month, but I kind of like it being at the end of the month. So it's all good, but just know that that is now going to be my thing. I won't be able to make the extra payments throughout the month anymore. Oh, another thing I was able to do well was I was able to cash flow a investment opportunity, which was really cool. I didn't think that I would have the extra money to be able to do that because I do keep things a little tight just for now until I'm out of debt. And then once I'm out of debt, I won't have that problem anymore. And it's not necessarily a problem because I don't have to keep things as tight as I do. I just do it this way because I am like gung-ho on getting out of debt. But yeah, so I was able to cash flow an investment opportunity, and I actually have another investment opportunity coming up this month, which I will talk about that towards the end of the video because there's going to be like some things that I may be doing that's kind of against the rules in order to get this investment off the ground. The last thing that I did well is I had 10 no spend days. So I track my no spend days on my monthly layout of my calendar in my planner. I actually have little bubbles on the side of each week where I can bubble in, and I actually had 10 no spend days, which is more than I thought because I actually overspent this month. But we'll talk about that a little later. Yeah, things I can improve on is estimating my expenses. I actually was over budget $143.04, which we'll get through the actual budget and talk about which categories were overspent on, but I just need to do a better job of estimating. But this is my first time living on my own again, and like, I moved back home about 2.5 years ago, so just estimating the expenses like groceries and different things like that, I just completely underestimated, which I fixed that in my November budget with me video. And if you haven't watched that video yet, I will go ahead and link that in the eye in the sky. If you watch that video, there is one thing that I did change. I did up my shopping budget from $100 to $150. I did not up that until after the video was published, and I did that because I just realized Call of Duty is coming out this weekend, and my headset went out literally like last week. Great timing, right? So I need to get a new headset. If you did not know, I've been gaming since I was a child. That's just something that I do for leisure and also to keep my stress levels down. So yeah, I needed to up my budget so that I could incorporate those things. So the next thing I want to talk about is the budget numbers. So all of the budget categories, where I overspent, where I underspent, and all of that good stuff. So I took these numbers from my October budget with me video. Some of the numbers I do think I changed later on, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so before I get started with the budget categories, let me first say that I ended up doing my numbers originally and having to go back and change them, because originally I was basing my numbers, my actuals and my estimations based on everything in October, all of my expenses in November, like month to month, and that's not accurate because I get paid every Friday. When I got paid on September 29th, that actually covered me for October 1st through the 5th as well. So I had to end up subtracting those numbers out of my budget expenses, my actual expenses, so that I can get a more accurate I guess detail of my spending in the categories. So if you are someone who's like me, you get paid every Friday or different things like that, you might want to stop including every expense in the month in your estimations and actuals, or really just the actuals, because it may be inaccurate. I know it was extremely inaccurate for me. Because when I do my weekly paycheck to paycheck budgeting, when I did it for September 29th, that included all of my expenses until October 5th. So for me to, you know, have those expenses in my October budget report card, that's inaccurate. So without further ado, sorry, I just had to make that explanation there just because there may be some of you guys watching the video that need to do the same thing. So for groceries, I estimated originally $250 in my October budget with me video, and then I took it down to $200, and I should have just kept it at $250 because I still overspent. So I estimated $200 and my actual was $313, so I was over $113 in the grocery category. For personal, I estimated $100 and I only spent $62.38, which means I was $37.62 under budget, which was pretty cool. For restaurants, I estimated $100. I actually ended up spending $162.89. So I was over budget $62.89. For my groceries and restaurants, sometimes I just get over budget, you guys. I'm not strict with my budgeting. I will reiterate this in every single budget with me and budget report card video. I'm not on an every dollar budget, so the way I do my finances throughout the month, any category where I overspend is okay because it's taken care of elsewhere. So even with me overspending in my budget categories, I still was cash flow positive for the month. So for gas, I estimated $80. I spent $80.82. So I was only over budget 82 cents, which was cool. For shopping, I estimated $100. I only spent $89.55. So I was $10.42 under budget. And then for supplements, I estimated $60 and I spent $74.40. So for this category, I take black seed oil and I take micro-root complex, and that's usually a 30-day supply. This month, the only reason I went over is because earlier this week when I went to buy my black seed oil, there was a 50% off for the GNC Pro membership. And usually I just decline it, but I've been very consistent with taking my supplements and everything. So I'm having to go back every month anyway. My mom and sister started taking a few supplements that are monthly supplies as well. So it just made sense in my head for me to just go ahead and pay for the Pro membership, especially because the next day the 50% off was going to be be gone. And then when I bought the black seed oil, I ended up only having to pay, I think it was, I got a $20 off coupon. And then also with me buying the GNC Pro Access membership, I ended up getting enough points for $15 off. So November, I should actually end up being under budget because I earned enough points for another $15 off coupon. So overall, I was $143.04 over budget, which is cool. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the debt update. So like I told you guys, one of the things that I did well, I was able to completely pay off my credit card debt. I ended up paying off $1,125.96 in debt. This is very, very, very exciting. So the only debt I have left again is my car note, and I actually do have a tax debt as well. I'm going to talk about my different options of paying that off towards the end of the video, because that's kind of where that should go. But my starting balance for my car this month in November is $10,905.66. So I'm looking to pay this off in the next, really my goal is the next 14 months, but I think that I'll be able to hone in and get it done in about 7 to 8 months. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is do the debt-free color in. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do the debt-free color in, and I have to hold the camera, so sorry it's not steady. My other tripod, I can't find the piece where you connect the camera to the tripod, and this tripod, I don't know how to make it angle down and stuff. So anyway, I showed you guys actually, if you don't follow me on Facebook, you probably didn't see this, but I have this same debt-free color in my planner that I created myself, which is what I did my November budget with me video in. This is at the very beginning. Now, that planner is not the planner that I'm going to actually use next year, which is why I'm not going to use that debt-free color in. And plus, I had already started this one in September, so I'm just going to use this one. So, I have now paid off $14,358.42 in debt. And if you see over here on the side, that pretty much falls like right above this line. But because I haven't hit this line yet, I'm just going to stop right there at that line. So, and hopefully I can do this right. Y'all, I'm getting so close to the top. It's so crazy. If you don't have a debt-free color in chart, I would highly suggest that you download one. They're really easy to use, and the reason why I really like this is because you're able to really see your progress. I mean, writing in a planner is cool, you know, tracking all of your expenses and your debt payoffs are cool, but it's even better when you can like literally color your debts away. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little geek. So that is where we are now, and I'm gonna go ahead and write October 2017 there, and here we are. So we only have this much left to go, you guys, and as I said, my goal is to get all of this done in the next about 7 to 8 months, and I wholeheartedly believe that I can do it. So stay tuned because we have more things to talk about in this report card. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is talk about my November goals, and for the most part, I have four or five goals. So the first thing that I want to do is be able to pay at least $400 towards my 2016 taxes. I think I explained this in my last video, the last Friday video, that I have a balance of about $1,700, but I don't know the exact balance yet because since I didn't pay it off when I sent in the extension, there will be some fees, which I hope I'll be able to negotiate and try to just pay off the balance once it finishes processing. The second goal that I have is to pay at least $800 towards my car loan. So that includes the $262.53, which is my minimum payment. And then my goal is to put at least an extra $600 towards the principal only as an extra payment. The next goal that I have is to start allotting $200 a month into a income taxes sinking fund. So I explained this in one of my previous videos, I'm not sure which one, but one of my biggest reasons of getting back into nursing and just working a shift a week is to reduce my tax liability. I'm kind of tired of owing taxes every year. So if I go ahead and basically put my allowances to practically nothing, maybe 0 or 1, they will overtax me, which means that it'll balance me out on my self-employed taxes. But just in case I still owe, I do want to start putting $200 a month towards a income tax sinking fund. That way, even if I do some kind of extension or something, which I shouldn't have to do anymore, probably after next year or, you know, this year's taxes, either way, if I do an extension, I'll have the money in the sinking fund to just go ahead and pay it. The fourth goal, that I have is to start putting $300, or at least for this month, put $300 into another sinking fund, which will be for future investments, which I do have an investment coming up this month, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. And my fifth goal, why am I off in my numbers? So my fifth goal is to go ahead and fund my $2,000 investment that I am doing this month. So for my taxes and my $2,000 investment, and the reason why I do want to highlight this is because this is not something that is normal, and I do not suggest anybody do this, but there's an explanation for me doing it this way. So for my taxes, what I actually want to do is be able to negotiate with the IRS and get the fees taken off from me paying it late. But even if I can't, I still just want to, instead of me having interest bearing on the account every single month that I'm not paying it, I'd rather just take the money out of my mini emergency fund, go ahead and pay it off in full, and then every month as I'm allocating money towards my savings, I'll just build my mini emergency fund back up. I do not suggest anybody do this, especially if you are somebody on Dave Ramsey's plan where you only have $1,000 in your savings account. Do not use your emergency fund for anything except an emergency. If I was actually on Dave Ramsey's plan right now, I would be debt free, because if I were to call into his show and tell him my situation, he would tell me, hey, you have $12,000 in your savings. You're only $11,000 in debt. Take the $11,000, pay off your debt. You know, you still have your $1,000 in your savings, and then build your savings from there. I don't want to do that because I'm self-employed. I like having that bigger cushion there just in case my income goes down or whatever the case may be. But because I do have both my emergency funds, the 6 months worth of expenses, and my $3,000 emergency fund, mini emergency fund, so I have $12,000 in savings. This is what I want to do. And even if I deplete that $1,700 out of my mini emergency fund, I should be able to put the money right back within about 2 months. So that is an option for me, instead of me getting on the monthly plan with the IRS and then them charging me a ton of interest along the way. For the $2,000 investment, again, I do not suggest anybody do this. I believe that you should allocate money specifically in a savings account for future investments. But I am taking that $2,000 out of my true emergency fund and I'm funding the investment. The reason why I am doing this is because it is literally a no risk investment. I'm doing a 6-month investment, putting the $2,000 in the investment. My contract specifically states that at the end of the 6 months, I will at least get my $2,000 back. But of course, it will be some profit made on top of that. So because I know the $2,000 is coming back to me in 6 months, I have not had to touch my emergency fund for anything in the last 12 months. I'm going ahead and I'm taking the $2,000 out of that. When I get my money back in 6 months, I'm going to put the $2,000 right back, and then all of the profit I'll probably use to just pay off whatever debt I have left at the time. So that's that. And yeah, that's my explanation for it. Again, I do not suggest anybody do this whatsoever, but I feel like mine is warranted because number one, I have both of my emergency funds fully funded. And for two, I know the money is coming right back on the $2,000 investment. It's literally no risk. The other one, for my taxes, I know that I can put the money right back in 2 months. And Dave Ramsey would tell me to do that anyway, because I would still have over $1,000 left in my emergency fund, which is what he tells you to have. So that's that. So the last thing that we need to go over is my net worth. So my net worth, I started out at $6,762 in November of 2016. That is, again, negative $6,762. My net worth as of October 31st of 2017 is $10,624. So I went from having a negative almost $7,000 net worth to almost a positive $11,000 net worth. As I explained in my October budget report card, I don't see a lot of people talking about their net worth, but I feel like it's really important because it's just important to know kind of where you are, where your assets are, your liabilities, and different things like that. My goal is for my net worth to be around $75,000 by this time next year, which I wholeheartedly believe that I can do. I have a lot of different investments and a lot of different investment opportunities coming up in the near future, and I just think that I can do it. My income is starting to increase again, and it's going to continue to increase. So that is my October budget report card. Please give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and videos like this. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who needs a little inspiration on their debt elimination and financial freedom journey, and I will see you in the next video.